Divine inspiration, a message from God that he needed to kill the president.
Gandhi fell to his assassin, Nathuram Vinayak Godse's bullets.
On July 13th, 2024, during Trump's campaign for the presidency, an assassination attempt occurred that could have drastically altered the course of American history.
Was leaving a news conference when a man who pretended to want an autograph.
But was it the first time a leader faced an assassination attempt? Definitely not. From Abraham Lincoln to Ronald Reagan and from Rajiv Gandhi to Pope John Paul II, the list of leaders who have encountered an assassination attempt is long. Let's have a look at some of the most infamous presidential assassination attempts ever. Number 1. Donald Trump, USA. What was supposed to be a routine campaign rally turned into a life-or-death moment for Donald Trump as an assassin's bullet narrowly missed its mark.
Gunfire erupted at a campaign rally for former President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, Saturday.
On July 13, 2024, during a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump, former president and the Republican Party's frontrunner for the 2024 election, narrowly escaped an assassination attempt. So who attacked Donald Trump? Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old from Bethel Park, opened fire with an AR-15-style rifle from a building about 400 feet away from the stage. Amid the chaos, Crooks tragically killed one audience member, Corey Comparatore, and critically injured 2 others before being taken down by Secret Service agents. Footage from the rally shows Trump clutching his right ear before taking cover behind the podium. Secret Service agents quickly surrounded him, shielding him from further harm. When Trump stood up, blood visible on his ear and face, he defiantly mouthed, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" But what made this moment so viral? A striking image of Trump raising his fist with the American flag in the background quickly went viral, hailed as an iconic moment. Despite the ordeal, Trump was taken to a nearby hospital, treated, and released in stable condition. President Joe Biden called the attack sick and unequivocally condemned the violence, as did former Presidents Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. So the burning question: what did the investigation reveal about the attacker? The FBI's investigation revealed that Crooks had borrowed the rifle from his father, had no prior criminal record, and no clear motive for his actions. His social media and writings showed no specific political affiliations or views either. So why did he shoot Donald Trump then? Investigators discovered that Crooks was a registered Republican, but the reasons behind his decision to attack the former president of his own party remain a mystery. The incident has left many questions unanswered. Number 2. Abraham Lincoln, USA. On the evening of April 14, 1865, President Abraham Lincoln was attacked by John Wilkes Booth while watching a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Lincoln died the next morning. This tragic event deeply shocked the nation, and the hunt for Booth became the largest manhunt in American history up to that point. How did the attack happen? John Wilkes Booth was a famous actor and had strong Southern sympathies. He hated President Lincoln. In March 1865, Booth and his group planned to kidnap Lincoln, but those plans failed. That evening, Booth sneaked into Lincoln's private box at Ford's Theater while Lincoln was watching the play Our American Cousin. Booth shot Lincoln in the head with a small gun and then jumped onto the stage, injuring himself as he landed. He shouted something like, "The South is avenged," before fleeing the scene on horseback. Though Booth fled with his accomplice David Herold, he was eventually found hiding in Maryland. Number 3. James A. Garfield, USA. On July 2, 1881, President James A. Garfield, who had just started his presidency 4 months earlier, went to the Baltimore and Potomac train station for a holiday trip with his family and Secretary of State James G. Blaine. It was a much-needed break after a tough start in office, including family health issues and party conflicts. But was it worth it? Well, as Garfield arrived at the station, Charles Guiteau, a man who believed he was fulfilling a divine mission, was waiting. Guiteau had been planning to assassinate Garfield and had even prepared a letter explaining his actions. Believing Garfield's death would help unite the Republican Party, Guiteau shot the president twice.
He had what he believed was a divine inspiration, a message from God that he needed to kill the president.
Garfield was quickly taken to the White House for treatment. Despite the doctor's efforts, their unclean tools and methods made his condition worse. Though the bullet had missed critical organs, the resulting infections led to his death on September 19, 1881, just 200 days into his presidency. Number 4, William McKinley, USA. On September 6, 1901, the Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, was in full swing. Amid the excitement, President William McKinley, the 25th President of the United States, was in the Temple of Music, greeting the public. Known for his love of meeting people, McKinley insisted on minimal security. His secretary, George Cortelyou, worried about an assassination attempt, tried twice to remove the visit to the Temple of Music from the schedule. But McKinley didn't care. Among the crowd was Leon Czolgosz, an anarchist who had lost his job during the economic troubles of 1893 and turned to radical beliefs. Viewing McKinley as a symbol of oppression, Czolgosz believed it was his duty to act. And this wasn't the first time he targeted McKinley. Czolgosz had previously failed to get close to McKinley. But this time, he succeeded. Concealing a gun in a handkerchief, he fired 2 shots at the president. One bullet grazed McKinley, but the other struck his abdomen and was never found. Number 5, Martin Luther King, USA. Martin Luther King Jr., a towering figure in the fight for civil rights and equality, was a beacon of hope and change in America. On April 4, 1968, his life was tragically cut short. While standing on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, King was struck by a bullet at 6:01 p.m. Despite immediate efforts to save him, he died an hour later in the hospital. The news of his assassination sent shockwaves across the nation, igniting grief and outrage. Yet, questions about the circumstances of his death lingered. Some, including King's family, believe his assassination was part of a larger conspiracy involving the U.S. government, the mafia. These theories have fueled debates and investigations for decades. In 2000, the U.S. Department of Justice concluded that there wasn't enough evidence to support these conspiracy claims, leaving many questions unanswered. What do you think, was his assassination part of a conspiracy? Number 6, John F. Kennedy, USA. On November 22, 1963, a day that would forever be etched in history, John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was assassinated in Dallas, Texas.
No shooting of a president has been more investigated or analyzed than the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
He was killed while riding in a car through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. He was accompanied by his wife Jacqueline and Texas Governor John Connally when he was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, who was hiding in a nearby building. The car was rushed to the hospital, but Kennedy died about 30 minutes after being shot. After the shooting, Oswald went home to get a pistol and soon killed a Dallas policeman named J.D. Tippit. About an hour after shooting Kennedy, Oswald was arrested and charged with killing both Kennedy and Tippit. Number 7, Ronald Reagan, USA. On March 30, 1981, President Ronald Reagan was shot and injured by John Hinckley Jr. in Washington, D.C. Reagan was giving a speech at the Washington Hilton when Hinckley, who was obsessed with actress Jodie Foster, shot him.
Popping, and he got a little excited and said, "There's a cop down, there's a cop down at the Hilton."
Why am I telling you about his obsession with an actress? Well, Hinckley shot the president, thinking that would impress her. Crazy, isn't it? The bullet bounced off the side of Reagan's limo and hit him in the left side, breaking a rib, puncturing a lung, and causing serious internal bleeding. Reagan was rushed to George Washington University Hospital in critical condition, but was stabilized in the emergency room and underwent surgery. Fortunately, he recovered and left the hospital on April 11th. Number 8. Theodore Roosevelt, USA. On October 14, 1912, while campaigning in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, former President Theodore Roosevelt faced a life-threatening ordeal.
This is the shocking but true story of how Teddy Roosevelt was shot point blank in the chest and lived to tell about it.
As Roosevelt was addressing a crowd, John Schrank, a former saloon keeper, emerged and shot him in the chest. What's truly remarkable about this incident? The bullet hit Roosevelt's steel eyeglass case and a thick, folded copy of his speech, which he was carrying in his jacket pocket. These items slowed the bullet down significantly. When he was taken to the hospital, doctors found the bullet lodged in his chest muscle, but thankfully not in some vital area. Due to some medical reasons, doctors decided it was safer to leave the bullet in his body, and he carried it for the rest of his life. Number 9. Mahatma Gandhi, India. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, known for his relentless pursuit of peace,
Why I Killed Gandhi, a 2017 short film on Mahatma Gandhi's assassination, has now become the center of a major political controversy.
was tragically assassinated at the age of 78. The assassination took place at Birla House, a large mansion in New Delhi. Gandhi was killed by Nathuram Godse, a member of a right-wing Hindu group. Around 5 p.m., Gandhi was walking towards the platform where he held his evening prayer meetings. As he walked, Godse emerged from the crowd and shot Gandhi 3 times in the chest and stomach at close range. Gandhi fell to the ground and was carried back to his room. Later, a representative announced his death. Number 10. Benazir Bhutto, Pakistan. On December 27, 2007, the world watched in shock as Benazir Bhutto, former Prime Minister of Pakistan, was tragically shot dead. This is the story of that fateful day and the events surrounding it. Bhutto was in Rawalpindi, Pakistan, campaigning for the upcoming elections. But what was meant to be a day of political promise turned into a scene of terror. As Bhutto wrapped up her speech, gunshots rang out. Moments later, a suicide bomber detonated an explosion. The chaos was immediate. Can you imagine the scene? Bhutto was rushed to Rawalpindi General Hospital, but despite the best efforts, she was declared dead at 6:16 p.m. local time. The bombing claimed 23 more lives, adding to the day's devastating toll. Number 11. Gamal Abdel Nasser, Egypt. Gamal Abdel Nasser was a major figure in modern Egyptian history. Cairo's government papers reported an astonishing plot to assassinate Nasser and launch a terror campaign to overthrow his regime. So who was behind all this? Not foreign powers or political rivals, but Egypt's powerful Muslim Brotherhood. Nasser tried to crush them after an assassination attempt in 1954, executing 6 members and imprisoning thousands, but the Brotherhood survived. In July, just before Nasser's regime's 13th anniversary celebrations, the plot was set in motion. Hussein Tawfik, an experienced terrorist, led a team to assassinate Nasser in his motorcade. Not only that, there were backup plans to attack him on his presidential train or at his suburban home if the initial attack failed. The plot came dangerously close to execution. In June, King Hussein of Jordan informed Nasser about the plan. It wasn't until mid-July that Egyptian secret police managed to capture Tawfik's team and shoot down a bomber that was just minutes away from Nasser's summer residence. The anniversary celebrations went off without an interruption, but the Brotherhood wasn't finished. Number 12. Yitzhak Rabin, Israel. November 4, 1995, was a pivotal day in the history of Israel. Yitzhak Rabin, the Israeli prime minister, was assassinated on that day in Tel Aviv after a peace rally. He was shot by Yigal Amir, a Jewish extremist who was angry about the Oslo Accords. And what are the Oslo Accords? The Oslo Accords involved Rabin agreeing to give up some Israeli-occupied territories to the Palestine Liberation Organization in exchange for peace. Rabin, who was 73 at the time, was shot twice. One bullet hit his back, causing severe internal injuries, and the other struck his ribcage and punctured his lung. He died that night from his injuries. Yitzhak Rabin's assassination was more than a political event. It was indeed a major incident that reshaped the trajectory of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Number 13. Rajiv Gandhi, India. Rajiv Gandhi was on a campaign trip in Tamil Nadu, meeting supporters and sharing his vision for the future. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation and excitement as Gandhi arrived at a rally. Little did anyone know, tragedy was just moments away. As Gandhi walked towards the stage, a woman named Kalaivani Rajaratnam, also known as Danu, approached him. She greeted him with a smile, hiding a deadly secret weapon beneath her dress. In a horrifying instant, Rajaratnam detonated a bomb, killing herself, Rajiv Gandhi, and 14 others. The explosion left another 43 people seriously injured. The scene of joy turned into unimaginable horror. The assassination was captured on camera by a local photographer who was also killed in the blast. So what was the motive behind the attack? Rajaratnam was a member of LTTE, a banned Sri Lankan Tamil separatist group. The attack was a calculated move rooted in a conflict far beyond Indian borders. Number 14. Shinzo Abe, Japan. Shinzo Abe, the former Prime Minister of Japan, was shot and killed while giving a campaign speech in Nara City. The shooter, Tetsuya Yamagami, used a homemade gun to attack Abe. Abe was taken to a hospital, but was declared dead soon after. The assassination shocked people around the world and was the first time a former Japanese prime minister had been killed since 1936. It also stirred up a lot of discussion in Japan about the Unification Church, a group with which Abe and his family had ties. Yamagami said he was motivated by a grudge against the church due to the financial troubles his mother faced. But was it true? No one knows for sure. Number 15. Moon Jae-in, South Korea. On October 22, 2022, Seoul was buzzing with excitement. South Korean President Moon Jae-in was delivering a speech at a vibrant cultural festival, a scene of celebration and unity. The festive atmosphere quickly turned to one of disbelief. Out of the crowd, a man identified as Kim Seok-jin, a 53-year-old former military officer, approached President Moon with a knife in hand. Kim managed to get alarmingly close to the president, brandishing the knife and attempting to stab him. Fortunately, Moon's security detail acted with remarkable speed and precision. They intervened just in time, overpowering and detaining the attacker before he could reach the president. Number 16. Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela. In August, Caracas was alive with the sights and sounds of a grand celebration. President Nicolas Maduro was addressing the nation during a military parade honoring the Bolivarian National Guard's anniversary. However, things took a turn when two drones carrying explosives appeared in the sky, heading straight for the parade. The first drone exploded above a crowd of National Guardsmen, injuring at least 7 officers. Chaos erupted. President Maduro, his wife Celia Flores, and Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez were quickly shielded by their bodyguards and managed to escape unharmed. The government quickly labeled the incident an assassination attempt on President Maduro. However, suspicions arose. Could this have been staged to justify a crackdown on opposition groups? Number 17, Pope John Paul II, Vatican. St. Peter's Square in Vatican City was teeming with excitement. Pope John Paul II was greeting the crowd, a scene of joy and reverence. What could possibly go wrong in such a serene moment? Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted from serene to chaotic. Mehmet Ali Agca, a man with a history of violence and threats against the Pope, was in the crowd with deadly intent. Agca fired 4 shots. 2 of those bullets struck Pope John Paul II, causing severe blood loss and injuring 2 others in the crowd. Agca was quickly captured by the security personnel and members of the crowd. Despite the pain and chaos, Pope John Paul II made a remarkable gesture. He forgave Agca. Even while recovering from his severe injuries, the Pope's spirit of forgiveness shone brightly. Agca was sentenced to life in prison in Italy, but the story didn't end there. In 2000, at the Pope's request, the Italian president pardoned Agca, and he was sent back to Turkey. Number 18. Imran Khan, Pakistan. In 2022, Pakistan faced a political crisis when the opposition tried to remove Prime Minister Imran Khan through a no-confidence vote. This led to President Arif Alvi dissolving parliament, but the Supreme Court restored it. Eventually, Khan lost the vote and was replaced by Shehbaz Sharif as Prime Minister. Khan claimed his removal was part of an American conspiracy and called the new government an imported government. To protest against the government's refusal to hold early elections, Khan and his supporters launched the 2022 Azadi March 2 on October 28th, marching from Lahore to Islamabad. On November 3, 2022, while Khan was speaking in Wazirabad, Punjab, a gunman fired shots at him from a truck. Khan was hit in his right leg and had to be treated at Shaukat Khanum Memorial Cancer Hospital in Lahore, where doctors found bullet fragments logged in his thigh, fracturing bone as well. In the attack, 9 people were injured, including Khan and Senator Faisal Javed Khan, and 1 person was killed. Number 19. Ahmad Dogan, Bulgaria. Ahmed Demir Dogan is a Turkish-Bulgarian politician and businessman who started the DPS party in 1990 and led it until 2013. But what happened on January 19th made him viral for a completely different reason. On January 19, 2013, while Dogan was giving a speech, a man named Oktay Enemehmedov ran onto the stage and pointed a gas pistol at Dogan's head from just a foot away. Did he fire the gun? He didn't. In fact, it turned out to have blank cartridges and pepper spray, which wouldn't have caused serious injuries. But Dogan wouldn't let him go unpunished. Enemehmedov was then tackled and beaten by security guards and people in the audience before being arrested. In February 2014, Enemehmedov was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. Number 20, Robert Fico, Slovakia. On the 15th of May 2024, Slovakia was shaken by a dramatic and violent incident involving its Prime Minister, Robert Fico.
This video could be upsetting for some viewers. The Prime Minister of Slovakia is in stable but serious condition after an assassination attempt that was caught on camera.
The Prime Minister, known for his strong Eurosceptic stance and controversial policies, was shot and seriously injured in Handlova, a town in central Slovakia. The attack occurred right after a government meeting in front of the House of Culture, where Fico was engaging with the public. The attacker was Juraj Cintula, a 71-year-old man. And why did he attack? He disagreed with Fico's policies, which included stopping military aid to Ukraine, supporting friendly relations with Russia, and criticizing NATO and the United States. Fico was immediately rushed to Handlova Hospital and then airlifted to FD Roosevelt Hospital in Banska Bystrica. He underwent a 5-hour emergency surgery and remained conscious during transport. Hope you enjoyed the video. What do you think about the impact these assassinations had on the world of politics? Do you believe there are any significant events we missed? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time.